Hello, my good friends. Back again with another video. Quick one today, as usual. Today I'm going to be talking about Therese Raquin by French novelist Emile Zola. I don't know how to pronounce his last name. I like to say Zola, but maybe it's Zola. Anyway, I'm a big fan of Zola's. I like his long series of whatever 20 or so novels called the Marquis whatever series. I'll put the name right here when I remember it. Anyway, it's a long series of somewhat interconnected novels around a few families in Paris at the middle to late 19th century. Now, this one, Therese Raquin, is not a part of that series. So it's the first Zola one I've read that's not a part of that big series. It's a shorter, it's a shorter book, shorter novel, I should say, maybe novella, um, and it has some good, it has some good stuff in it. Um, it's quite admirable in some ways. My big complaint is that it, despite being a short novel, it does drag on too long, and it's fatally flawed in the sense that um, the kind of psychological study that it seeks to perform is carried out over across two people, and that's not really possible to do. Um, if you think about, for instance, perhaps one of the best character studies or psychological studies, Crime and Punishment by Dostoevsky, he focuses on one character and gets into excruciatingly intimate detail and analysis of this one character, Raskolnikov. So this book is about basically about adultery and murder, and it seeks to tell a story of the inner struggle of two people. Now, again, I believe that there's no real way to do that effectively. When two people share in a crime, um, there's a strange paradox that happens. So the act unifies them, but they're also different people. So how can you simultaneously paint their unity and their difference, right? In that sense, it may be possible, and maybe you listeners can think of examples of that. So then I would say the first half of the novel is very strong. Um, and basically it's sort of about this Raquin and this Raquin woman, Therese Raquin, um, and it's about her partner, her adulterous partner. So again, it starts out good. It starts out strong. You feel sympathy for Therese's unique personality, and her family setting is painted really um, really interestingly. Now, there's one thing that I was thinking about with this as well is that it seems to me the last couple books I've read spend almost no time describing the environment, whether that's nature or rooms, settings of different places. And that might just be a weird coincidence, but when you think of great novels include both psychological analysis and environmental descriptions, right? Describing settings, immersing you into a circumstance, not just into a mind, but a circumstance. So that's one of the flaws in this book, I believe. Now, one of the previous Zola ones that I've read, The Masterpiece, it doesn't have that flaw. In fact, it does a better job of analyzing one person, one personality, and it has beautiful, sumptuous, informative, descriptive passages of settings, right? Different parts of France and parts of Paris. So it's by far a better work than Therese Raquin. Um, Now, all I can say is that, okay, so basically it's a woman who, a young girl who basically has no choice, given her circumstances, for marrying the sickly cousin she was raised with, and she's passionless and all that stuff. And then a friend of her husband's basically seduces her, and in the end, after a while, I should say, not in the end, but after a while, they contrive to murder this husband, and it's mostly the man's fault. But Therese didn't do anything to stop it. Um, and then the second half of the book is basically they're dissembling over it, and it goes on way too long. It ends well. It has a good ending, or an interesting ending, I should say. But it could definitely have been 30 pages shorter, I'd say, or kept the character analysis to one person. But not too many people are able to do that kind of psychological analysis. Like, I think of like a Tolstoy or Dostoevsky, sure. Maybe even George Eliot. Um, but not too many others could pull that off so well and so richly. So anyway, I'm not a big fan of this book. It gets a, I don't know, it gets a four. So it of classics. It's a four of classics. So it's a below average classic. So, but anyway, if you want to read it, give it a read. But it's not on my must read list by far. By far? By far. Okay. Thank you, guys.